First pitch to Jigsaw. Drive to right. McLeod is back. He's at the wall, and he leaps, and it's off the wall. Punto's coming in to score, and the A's are going to walk off in the 10th inning in front of a sellout at O.co.
Last night's walk-off showed off the spirit of this 2014 Athletics club. And today they are back at it against a familiar friend in Gio Gonzalez. The former Athletic who was traded away will get the ball for Washington as the green and gold go for the 3-game sweep. Final game of the series, A's-Nats, next. Well, it is a very special Sunday here at the O.co Coliseum. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Day. It is Mother's Day, and the A's are going for the 3-game sweep. Those are the two gentlemen that are going to pitch. Today, obviously, old friends, and we're looking for a good day of baseball. It's the Washington Nationals and the Oakland A's coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Absolutely.
Last night, a terrific game. The A's were quiet for 8 innings, but we should know better, Ray. The A's do this so often. They may be quiet for a while, but they always seem to make things interesting in the end. And then they ended up getting 2 in the 9th, 1 in the 10th to win it.
An unbelievable 9th and 10th inning for the Athletics. And it started with John Jason, who had a great night. He was deserving of the pie because of his night last night. This is the bloop hit to start the 9th inning. And Jed Lowry. Notice all these pitches. Up, hanging sliders from Soriano. That was a double into the right center field. And then Josh Donaldson. This is a 2-strike hanging slider. He hammered it to left field. Donaldson was able to drive in. The tying run, he stayed at third. That's first base. That's where he was. But in the 10th inning, with 2 outs, John Jaso again, a ball that almost went out. This was after the base hit by Callaspo. And then, of course, Jaso off the wall in right field. The game winner, the third walk-off for the Athletics this year. Somebody shredded John Jaso. We don't know who, have a pretty good idea who, but we definitely know who gave him the pie.
Did we find that uniform top?
Oh, man.
Could be anywhere.
It's shredded someplace.
Gio Gonzalez developed into an all-star pitcher here with the A's. It hasn't changed. In fact, he may be better now than he was with the A's.
You watch his pitch, his great fastball, the curveball that he throws so consistently. He's throwing more changeups with Lobaton as catcher, but the fastball inside to the right-handers is the pitch that is so tough on those guys. Of course, with the backdoor curveball, the fastball, left-handers have a very difficult time of hitting him. Remember, when he left the A's 2012, his first year of the Nationals, 121. He's a very good pitcher, very good left-hander.
2 very good left-handers today. Scott Kazmir for the A's. Kazmir going for his 5th win of the season. So, indeed, marquee pitching matchup on Breast Cancer Awareness Day here at the Coliseum. We'll have lineups and first pitch on a beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box and try the new Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to the O.co Coliseum as we are getting set for the final game of this series. Scott Kazmir will lead the A's out onto the field. Let's check the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It's a beautiful day, 76 degrees, a little breezy again. But nothing like day baseball here at the Coliseum. And very nice crowd on hand for Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Let's look at the lineup for the Washington Nationals. They are trying to salvage the final game of this three-game set. Denard Span again will be in the leadoff spot for the Nats. He'll be followed by Kevin Frandsen. Frandsen's in left field today. Anthony Rendon is at third. Jason Worth in right field. He'll hit cleanup. Ian Desmond really struggling this year. He's at shortstop. Scott Hairston will DH. Tyler Moore just called up from the minor leagues. He'll play first base. Jose Lobaton, who saw him with the Rays the last couple of years, Lobaton will catch. And Danny Espinosa is the second baseman.
Scott Kazmir on the mound for his 8th start of the season, and if you look at his last couple of starts, his velocity has been way down, and as a result he lost to the Mariners. It's not a good sign when he starts stretching out the form of the first couple of warm-up tosses, but that is a key for him, having reasonable velocity, not in the mid-80s, upper 80s, the low 90s, where he's been throwing the velocity, good curveball, changeup, but it's not happened the last couple of starts. Maybe even going back to Houston, last 3 starts when the velocity's been down. So let's hope it's better today. Let's hope he can get off to a good start. Typically, he struggles at the beginning, but is able to figure it out. And let's hope that is the case today early in the game.
Cespedes, Gentry, Reddick in the outfield for the A's. Donaldson, Lowry, Punto, Moss on the infield with Norris doing the catching. So Kazmir's ready, so is Denard Span, and we are set for baseball. A's dramatic win last night, 4-3 in 10 innings. On Friday night, it was an 8-0 shutout for the A's win. The A's have overall won 3 in a row. Remember, they won the second game of the doubleheader on Wednesday. First pitch of the game is a little bit outside to
first pitch,
Denard Span.
108.
One hit in this series for Span. These pitchers have done a pretty good job of shutting down Washington in the series. The Nationals 3 runs and 9 hits total in the series. Curveball stays inside, 2-1.
See the starting pitchers on the sideline, knowing they're not going to be in the game, wearing those nice pink sleeves.
Yeah.
To accentuate the Mother's Day pink. There they are. Here's Cedarstrom, the crew chief.
So as always on Breast Cancer Awareness Day, very nice pregame ceremonies. Kazmir kicks the 3-1 pitch to Span. Is in for a strike. Frandsen to follow, and then Rendon just underway from the Coliseum.
Breezy again.
It is breezy.
It's been breezy in this homestand last couple of nights for sure, and this afternoon again.
The 3-2 pitch is bounced to Punto at second. Flips to first, and that's out number 1.
You know, the old philosophy, make them hit it, don't walk them, and Scott Kazmir falling behind 3-2, but fastball topped out at 89 watching the board, and the board is showing about 88, 89 with his fastball, but good location with the 3-2 to Span.
So 1 out for Frandsen. Kazmir looking for win number 5. His ERA of 2.64 is 9th best in the American League. This one's flipped down the right field line. Reddick on the move, and Reddick makes the catch. Long run, but it's always interesting. When a guy's a Gold Glover, the ball always seems to hang up a little longer for him.
Well, just as important as positioning, and he was shading Frandsen that direction. Remember, Frandsen last night hit a double to left center that drove in a couple of runs in the 3rd inning, but Reddick played him perfectly, as the ball jammed Franson. Looked like it might be extra bases, but Reddick tracked it down. Fair ball and in the foul territory. Nice play by Josh Reddick, who not many lefties are facing Gio Gonzalez, but it seems that Reddick is always in the lineup, as is the case today. And Brandon Moss at first. So a couple of lefties will have to deal with Gio Gonzalez, but right now he is trying to get back in the dugout with a 0.
2-0 to Anthony Rendon. Rendon is 1 for 8 in this series. Well, the injuries just keep hitting the Nationals. Today, they put Adam LaRoche on the disabled list with the quad strain. They called up Tyler Moore. Tyler Moore will play first base today. So, very good offensive player. Adam LaRoche on the disabled list joins Harper and Zimmerman, and you could make a pretty strong argument that that's your 3, 4, 5 hitters.
Absolutely.
And that's not easy to overcome. Donaldson scoops up a tough hop, throws on the run, and Kazmir has a 3 up, 3 down, top of the first inning. Gio Gonzalez set to go to work at his old home, the Coliseum. Followed by Lowry at short, Donaldson at third, Cespedes in left, then Norris, Callaspo, Moss, Punto, and Reddick.
Gio Gonzalez on the mound, this familiar number 47, and the familiar great pitches that the lefty is able to feature, and making his 8th start, 3-2 on the season. And of course, we mentioned in 2012, his first season with the Nationals, won 21, and R.A. Dickey picked up the Cy Young Award. So still a lot of fans here at the Coliseum for Gio, as he showed in the first 2 days that the Nationals were in town, Friday and Saturday. And that's a little smile over to Ty Waller, his first base coach.
So Gio kicks. His first pitch to Gentry is bunted first base side. Gio picks it up, throws in time to Tyler Moore, and that was a very nice play by Gio Gonzalez.
Boy, what a play by Gio. He's a left-hander, falls a little bit towards the third base side, but great recovery. And if he doesn't field it, it's a base hit. And you actually hope the first baseman fields the ball, but Tyler Moore was able to go back to the bag with Gio Gonzalez making a spectacular play, and especially throwing the way he did with the foul territory and Gentry's speed. That's a remarkable play in the first pitch of the game for Gonzalez.
So 1 out for Lowry.
Good idea, though, by Greg Gentry. Barehanding it, Gio Gonzalez, and a little flip to his first baseman, who quickly got back to the bag and really got Gentry by plenty, only because Gio made the play that he did.
So our Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Lowry 255, a couple of home runs, 14 RBIs, 10 at bats against Gio Gonzalez. A big hit last night in that 9th inning.
And it's amazing. You look at the numbers, statistics, and start looking at Jed Lowry's numbers aren't where he wanted them to be, but yet comes up big in the 9th inning with a hanging breaking ball. Drives in a run and scores a tying.
Well, we watched those highlights that we showed in our open, and we were amazed at all the big hits in that 9th inning and then in the 10th inning for the A's. They were all really bad located pitches, all up, every single one of them. Right field for Worth, and Worth has it. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Let's look at the rest of the Nationals defense. So Worth in right, Francis's in left, Span in center, and then Rendon, Desmond, Espinosa, Moore with Lobaton doing the catching. So here's Josh Donaldson. His single last night tied the game in the 9th inning.
A hanging slider for some.
Yes, it was. And it was an 0-2 count, I believe.
2 strikes for sure.
.266 for Donaldson with 7 home runs and 25 RBIs. This was the hit that tied the game, and the big part of this play was Soriano cut the ball off. Watch the ball get cut off by the pitcher. And saw the catcher react. I saw the first baseman go, no. We were all a bit surprised. It would have been a close play at the plate, I think.
And the biggest thing there, being a catcher, and seeing everything develop in front of you and realizing that Donaldson was at first base. If Wilson Ramos had seen that, that's one thing to cut, maybe to get Donaldson the potential winning run, but not when he's stationed at first base and did not let the throw come through. So a good break for the A's. Whether or not he'd been out, we don't know. Not even take a chance.
Changeup stays outside. 3-1 to Donaldson. Cespedes looking to possibly hit in this inning. He's in the on-deck circle.
Gio's been throwing more changeups with Lobaton, his catcher, calling multiple changeups.
Fastball missed inside. Close pitch. Breakdown for Gio Gonzalez.
Left fielder, number 52.
Well, he's always had a good breaking ball, and he likes to throw the curveball.
And a curveball to lefties especially, it's a very tough pitch to try to hit. But that's the lower part of the batting order. You see all right-handers. The fastball inside as he tried to throw into Donaldson is a key pitch for him. You get the inside corner. It's Gary Cederstrom on Friday night with Tommy Malone. Tommy kept nailing the inside corner with the fastball.
.258 for Cespedes with 7 home runs, 21 RBIs.
And with Breast Cancer Awareness Day, you'll see some hitters using the pink bat. Some are using their normal bats, and they have different parts of pink, maybe wristbands. But in the case of Cespedes, he's got it everything. Like pink shoes.
He's got it covered.
Pink shoes. I think his protecting shin guard is pink. Pink bats.
Cespedes reached for that changeup, kind of cues it foul just past the Nationals dugout. So 1-2.
Well, you look fastball, and Gio can throw the mid-90s fastball, then he pulls the string. Pitch out of the strike zone, but Cespedes had already committed. He even has the pink around his neck. Man. He just put it in his locker. He said, I'll wear it.
Yeah, whatever you're going to put out there.
The Doves landed yet?
They're gone.
Okay. They regroup, don't they?
Two pitch. Curveball rolled slowly to short. Desmond flips to first, and he didn't get him. Maybe a little hesitation by Desmond. You wonder, Ray, if he didn't maybe take a quick glance at second.
Yeah. But he knew it might be a tough play, as it turned out to be, with Cespedes down the line. Curveball got on the hands of Cespedes, of course, with a big swing, always slow out of the batter's box. But you did see him take a look at second. No chance there. And then hurriedly threw to first. Could not get a lot on it. And Cespedes, if you're a first base umpire, watch the last step. And you see this last effort, and you got to be thinking close to the ground, hits the bag quickly, and that stomp on the ground before the ball hit the first baseman's mitt. Let's hope what happened a week ago today in Boston when he legged out a hit to help the A's win the game. Had to miss a couple of games because of that. Let's hope it doesn't affect him today.
So 1-0 to Derek Norris. A little 2-out rally here for the Athletics. .378 the average for Norris. Couple of home runs, 13 RBIs. Fastball inside, 2-0.
Well, umpires in the setups and the slot, as they call it, are so critical to pitch inside. And it's a pitch that Gio Gonzalez needs. Tommy Malone was able to pitch so effectively on Friday night, but Gio has to get fastball inside to be effective. And it's up to Lance Barksdale how close the pitch is to the corner. Tommy, for 8 innings, shut out baseball against his former team on Friday, kept nailing the inside fastball on the corner.
400 batting average for Norris with runners in scoring position.
And you're always wondering, does he get the green light? 3-0. Lobotan just sets up in the middle, anticipating a take on a 3-0.
And he's swinging, and he rips one to left field, and that baby's gone. 3-0 pitch. Norris connects, and the A's have a 3-0 lead.
Infield hit by Yoenis Cespedes and a 3-0 fastball. Derek Norris crushes it. On a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon, he crushes it. He knows it's gone. And he would simply say as he crosses the plate, Happy Mother's Day to his mother Jackie, who instrumental in him growing up and becoming a major league player. And he hits a 3-run home run in the first inning.
On a 3-0 pitch.
Okay. Now, Joey Votto won a game the other night with Cincinnati, hitting a walk-off on a 3-0 pitch. And then I think I'd heard the numbers for Joey Votto, something like 9 for 14, hitting with 3-0 count.
Then he should do it
all the time. And if you're a pitcher, you got to know those numbers as well. But I think for any pitcher facing a hitter 3-0, 2 outs, you got to be thinking he's going to be swinging.
That one hit hard. Diving is Desmond. Throw is going to be late. So Caspo has a hit. Nice play by Desmond to dive and field it cleanly. He just could not get anything on his throw.
Steve McKenny going out to visit with Gio, and good hustle, great play at short, but just nothing on the throw. Ball thrown into the ground, spiked into the ground. And Caspo, who led off the 10th inning last night with a base hit, and gets a 2-out hit here. His conversation, Cat, probably is McCaddy, knowing the emotions of Gio Gonzalez and pitching against the team that, of course, traded him, and just trying to get him to relax. And he gets 2 quick outs. Donaldson with a walk on a 3-1 fastball. And then the hit, infield hit, nice hustle by Cespedes, and falling behind Derek Norris, who is as hot as anybody. And he gave him the fastball to hit.
So here's Moss. 258 for Moss, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs. And he had a Big rip, fouls it straight back. Moss hitting in the 7th spot. So 2 left-handed hitters in there against Gio Gonzalez. Moss in the 7th spot, Reddick in the 9th spot. And that one's hit towards shallow center. Span coming in. He's not going to get it. Callaspo hustling around to third. And the inning continues.
There's the high, kind of like a swerve a little bit from Gio, and not the good fastball. 0-1, and with Span playing a little bit deep, respect to the power of Brandon Moss. And Callaspo hustling all the way to third, 2 outs, breaking on contact. The fact that Gio Gonzalez made a spectacular play on Craig Gentry, first pitch of the game. On the bunt, did he make the great play?
First pitch to Punto. Right field base hit. Callaspo will trot in to score. Punto with a base hit. 4-0. The A's lead.
Scott Kazmir has been the beneficiary of run support. He's getting it again this afternoon as Punto with a first pitch fastball, doing what he does best, and that's hit the opposite field. Scored the winning run last night as he went into pitch run for Callaspo. Came around to score in the 10th inning, and Nick Punto, a solid base hit to right field. 4th RBI of the season. But those numbers against Gio.
So with 2 outs, the A's have gone walk, single, homer, single, single, single for 4 runs. And the pitch to Reddick is up and in with a breaking ball. That one misses outside. Now 2-0.
Gio a little upset with himself, grabbed the ball back, and the ball in his bare hand has kind of snapped it a little bit.
There's a fastball first strike. Baseball's quite a game, Ray. If Desmond makes that play, which not an easy play, but I think more often than not, he probably would tell you I should have thrown him out. It's a 0-0 game. Nothing going on.
Absolutely.
But could not make it. And the A's, as they so often do, take advantage and have scored 4 times. Two and 2 to Reddick. Homer and 9 RBIs for the A's right fielder. Breaking ball way outside. So now the runners will take off. Moss at second, Punto at first.
Curveball started in the middle of the plate and broke outside, handled by Loberton, but Gio against lefties, we saw in our Oakland showing some of the highlights of his curveball. He starts it at the hitter, buckles their knees, and that's usually the most effective curveball.
Runners go, and the pitch is sliced foul. Ball bounced around a little bit, and that youngster was in the right place at the right time. So we'll do 3-2 again, and here it is to Reddick. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So that's how the bottom of the first ends, but the A's score 4 times, and first 3 coming on that 3-run homer by Derek Norris, his 3rd of the year. 4-0 A's after 1.
For Mom. Good start. 4 runs in the first inning. That's a good start for a win, thanks to Derek Norris' 3-run home run. Interleague at home has been good to the A's, 16-5 since 2012.
Interleague at home.
That at home is the key, right? DH.
Last year, the A's were 13-7 overall in interleague play. A's pitchers as a group, shutdown innings, best in the majors. So 20 interleague games, and that's for every team. It's close to being equal. I'm going to play a team from the National League, which has obviously the division from the National League has 5 teams. One of those teams you're going to play 4 times. So if you do the math, that gets you to 16. And then you're going to have a chosen geographical rival. For the A's, it's very easy. And you'll play 4 against that team. And in the A's case, that's the Giants. That's why I think, well, it was earlier this week, the Rangers were playing the Rockies. Kind of odd, right? But that's sort of their chosen rival.
Last year was the Diamondbacks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
so
not really. It's a scheduling rivalry is what it is.
Well, that's after the Astros came into the American League. That natural rivalry went away since they're playing them in their own division. But you're right. From the A's standpoint, I say to go to Miami, that's going to be a DH-less games. Mets, Atlanta, and that's it. And so those games, the A's will not be able to utilize a DH. Hitters will bring out their bats.
Line drive by Worth. He's got a base hit to right field. There's a leadoff single here in the second inning.
Well, Worth very powerful, and Kazmir staying outside. Smart hitting because he didn't try to pull a pitch that was outside. Went with it nicely. So there's your 4th place hitter. Expected to hit a lot of home runs, which he will. But takes the base hit. Because the previous pitch on 3-1 he thought was ball 4 was called a strike, and smartly decided to go with the pitch that was again thrown outside.
So here's Ian Desmond. Desmond takes a strike. Well, the A's have had pretty good success in interleague play since it came in 1997. They have one of the better records, all-time interleague records. So if it's the, let's see, last year it was the NL Central, this year East, so it would be back to the National League West last year. So that helps you travel a little bit.
You'd like to hope that's the way it will rotate.
That's the all-time A's record in interleague play, 169 and 137, 5th best in the major leagues. 1-2 now to Desmond.
There's a good changeup, and if you throw a changeup, a good one off a fastball, which Scott Kazmir does. Got a note from a gentleman who had a special game a few years back that we will talk about. Said Scott Kazmir pulls a changeup, throw the changeup off his fastball, and it's a good one. He does it again.
And he gets the strikeout looking by Desmond. So the struggles continue for Ian Desmond.
So Dallas Braden knows what he's talking about when it comes to changeups, because that is a good one. And Derek Norris started to come up a little bit. It was a high changeup, but kept it in the strike zone. And maybe Desmond was either upset, thought it was high, but too good to take with a couple of strikes.
So 1 out, and here's Scott Hairston.
And Derek Norris does such a great job and makes it easy for pitchers who just follow him because he prepares. And of course, the A's had Kurt Suzuki with one of the best preparing for a game to help the pitcher. And it really takes a lot off the pitcher if a pitcher will trust the catcher to know that he does his homework, knows how to call a game, and just follows him. Makes everything go a lot smoother, a lot quicker.
Fastball in first strike. Pitch selection breakdown for Scott Kazmir. Lots of changeups, 20% changeups.
You go 67% of 2 pitches and their fastball and changeup, and they both look the same, you're going to have a lot of success. And it proved it to Desmond when he went back-to-back with the changeup.
And that one's hit softly into left field, and that's a base hit. Drops in front of Cespedes. So Hairston with a soft line drive.
Surprised he hasn't played every game. Seems like, of course, he did so well on Friday night against Tommy Malone, against the lefty again today.
Batting in the 7th position.
Very hittable.
First baseman, number 12.
Ends up with a very good hit.
So 2 on 1 out for Tyler Moore. Tyler Moore just brought up from AAA. We said Adam Roach placed on the disabled list. And Moore, a strong right-handed hitter. Curveball just a bit outside. A couple of home runs this year in the big leagues for Tyler Moore. Slices that one foul.
A nice play. On his glove. Watch his catch.
First baseman's glove too,
Yeah.
right? Looks like it.
Big anyway.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Looked like a first baseman. Line drive. Punto has it. That'll be out number 2. Punto thought about maybe trying to get Hairston at first, but held on to it.
Well, that's where you don't want to make a throw unnecessarily, because both runners read it well, and Punto decided not to
Batting
throw.
in the 8th position.
So what happened
Number
last night was
59,
Reddick with the ball.
catcher,
Looked like it was going to be a
Jose
double play. Hit him in the back
Lobaton.
and ended up going to third, although he ended up being stranded at third.
143. The opponent's average with runners in scoring position. As we like to say, that's how you keep your ERA down. Basic baseball math. This is Jose Lobaton.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah. Traded in the offseason from the Rays to the Nationals.
And the Rays picked up Hannigan, is it, from Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati.
So we haven't seen the Rays yet. We'll see them on the next road trip. The next 3-city road trip.
Aren't they all 3-city road trips?
At least the first 5 are.
Lobaton, a switch hitter, 29 years old. Got to the big leagues with the Padres in 2009, and then rest of his time with the Rays, and he bounces that one. Donaldson ranging to his left, gets the out at second, side retired. So a couple of runners stranded, and Kazmir gets out of the jam. Bottom of the second coming up. Gentry to lead it off. 4-0 A's. opponent's batting average versus the curveball since 2012. Ray, that's that curveball you talked about, and opponents are hitting 117 against Gio's old Uncle Charlie. I mean, it's such a nasty pitch. A lot of times guys don't even swing it because they're fooled by it.
Exactly, and he also throws it hard, which makes it even more difficult when they do decide to swing at it to make solid contact. I think that's what's good about we witness, and we'll witness tomorrow night with Jesse Chavez. And of course, Sonny Gray, the hard thrown curveballs makes it tough for hitters to make adjustments to hit well. He's not gotten one called strike inside yet.
And it could be one of the reasons why the A's had all those hits in a row off them.
Well, that's it. Gio shook his head, and I think that was the reaction that the dugout got, wondering.
Easy, Lance.
Yeah.
Easy, big guy.
There's something to be said about cotton balls in the ears, you know, if you're an umpire.
Gee whiz. Gentry loops from the left, and that's a base hit. Billy Gonzalez will be right back into the stretch.
Well, I think the Nationals dugout is Gentry got jammed enough to drop the ball softly in front of Franzen in left field. And Gio definitely frustrated, and you know, if you're showing the frustration of not getting the call for the fastball inside, and then ball dropping in front. So that against the Cardinals that Gio pitched, he was nailing the inside fastball. He was either jamming the right-handed hitters or getting the called strikes. And a pitch that when he has success and he pitches inside to righties, it's kind of unhittable. That's the numbers out of the stretch, 268 average. 173 according to that stat. Nobody on base.
Lowry popped out to right field in the first inning. Runner goes, and he's going to get a stolen base. Gentry slides in, no throws. The ball popped out of Lobaton's glove. So give Gentry his 6th steal of the year. He has not been thrown out.
Well, that's a slide step, and you know, if there's ever a time Gentry was leaning towards second, and as a pitcher you can see that Gio threw to the plate. Lobaton could not transfer the ball, and so Gentry going on first move. No chance to throw him out.
Lowry, right field. It's going to be a long run for Worth. Worth is going to get there in the corner, and he quickly gets it back in, but Gentry hustles to third. So the stolen base comes into play, helps the A's as Gentry is now at third with 1 out.
Lobaton realizing he's going to have to hurry and try to bring the ball back, and really that forces that top of a pitch inside, and the catcher catches the ball, and then watch him bring this forces him to turn the shoulder, but unfortunately for him the transfer was not there, and Lowry did a good job of getting out of the way, so there's no interference. The pitch way inside, but you catch it inside, and by the time you bring the ball back to your throwing hand, you're automatically turned to throw properly.
Donaldson taps one, and it's fair. The throw is low, but Moore digs it out. Everybody was kind of looking at the umpires, and it was the home plate umpire's call. Barksdale said it was fair, and Donaldson is retired.
And it looked like it did stay fair all the way, but you're right, as it went down.
Number 52,
And he almost threw it in right field. Nice play by Moore at first base. Yeah, it's the home plate umpire, Lance Barksdale, that until the ball reaches the bag. Normally it is a home plate umpire's call. After that, it's the corner base umpire. But it's not cast in stone because they can make the call.
So 1-0 to Cespedes. Cespedes had that infield signal that kept the first inning going, and it turned out to be a huge play.
Fastball inside, 2-0.
Bases loaded last Sunday in Boston when Cespedes got the infield hit, but similar situation in that the infield all the way back, so any slowly hit ball with Cespedes' speed, he could possibly beat out another one.
So now 3-0.
Think he'll have a green light?
I think he will, and I don't think Gio's going to ease one in there. Did have the green light, and he skies one on the infield. Remember, it's windy up there. Lobaton, he dropped it, and Gentry steps on home, and they're calling it a foul ball.
Wow. And nobody touched it, and that's the key. Lobaton completely missed it, and Cespedes was standing at home plate. You have to run because you're right. The wind's going to take it right back into fair territory. Hit it straight up, and he stood at home plate. Lobaton started backpedaling into fair territory, and Gentry got past, and there's no interference, but Rendon made the smart play, letting the ball bounce. Once Lobaton completely missed it, they were not going to get anybody, except maybe Cespedes, who was just starting to run to first base.
So that is a smart play.
Yeah.
And the Nationals got a break.
Yes,
they did not touch it.
Yeah. That's the guy who got the break.
Yes, he did.
That's a complete miss, and Rendon was so far away he could not call him off, so it was Lobaton's ball all the way.
Cespedes fouls this one straight back, so now full count. There's a lot of activity on that play if you think about it, a lot of traffic. You got the runner, the hitter standing there, the umpire's coming out, the catcher's trying to catch it, the third baseman and the pitcher are in the area.
And Gentry did the best thing. He stopped so he would not interfere with all that confusion around home plate and interfere with somebody making the play. The defense has the right to make the play. You can't interfere with it.
3-2 pitch misses badly inside. Cespedes with a walk.
Now watch what happens. This ball goes straight up. Lobaton. Cespedes not running. Here comes Gentry. There's Rendon. And the ball drops. Has the spin to kick it foul. Anybody touching the ball in fair territory, it'll be a run in. And Cespedes at first. You see players, runners, when they interfere with a base or a defensive player, it's interference unless you're Albert Bell and you just form.
What a guy, huh?
You're going to try to tag me and make a double play. Sorry.
I'm going to knock your block off. Here's Norris. Breaking ball is low. This is what Norris did in the first inning on a 3-0 count.
And you talk about a nice, easy swing. And that's backspin right there. In to the left field bleachers. And Derek Norris, and boy, everybody knows statistics. And you talked about very hot Derek Norris, runners in scoring position. Well, you have to think about it as a pitcher-catcher. And you're getting that 3-0 fastball count. Think twice about it.
Well, Norris has 20 hits in his last 40 at-bats. Missed again, now 3-0. So Gio Gonzalez.
See if he learned anything?
Yeah, he has to be careful here. Callasco is the on-deck hitter. And we're going to get some action soon out in that Nationals bullpen. They're starting to move around down there.
And that one's belted to left.
Wow.
Has he done it again? Gone.
That's the first moment multi-home run game. That might be something I've never seen before. Back-to-back 3-0 counts, swinging, and back-to-back home runs. Unbelievable.
Consecutive innings.
Exactly. And another walk preceded the home run. Huh. That is unbelievable. Stay high. Well, this is supposed to be a fastball in, and the backspin, that's a fastball. Oh, man, you're talking about center cut. That's as good a fastball you're ever going to see anytime, much less 3-0 and back-to-back at bats.
So 2 homers, 6 RBIs in the first 2 innings for Derek Norris.
And he's seen 2 strikes.
And Doan kicks it, that guns it to first. Side retired. Derek Norris, the story so far. Derek Norris and the 3-0 pitch. He's done it twice. Couple of 3-run homers. 6-0. And Gio Gonzalez not a happy camper. This was at the end of the last half inning. So he was barking at somebody down there, which quite frankly is probably not a great idea. I don't know, Ray. I just think if you give up 2 3-run home runs to the same guy on 3-0 pitches both times, I'm not sure you can really be barking at anybody.
Yeah, it's a good point, and you know, it could go both ways. The first one may be acceptable because give it up, you don't know, but the second time, and the fact that Lobaton called the fastball 3-0 as if to say, is he going to do it again? Yeah, that's the 3rd hitter to swung 3-0 in this game in the first 2 innings. Cespedes hit one straight up, could have crushed that one as well, but you know, they work together, and it's a matter of a battery, but you know, unfortunately the pitcher has to look at he's the one that threw the ball.
1-2 to Espinosa. So the A's with 4 in the first and 3 in the second for a 7-0 lead. Tap toward Donaldson, just foul. This was certainly a frustrating play. Yeah. It was.
Well, that's probably Rendon. And the ball's up that high, and Gio pointed and let it go. And maybe that was the fact he was playing deep, though. And if he got there, it's almost similar to Rios getting the air the other night in Arlington with the ball that second baseman. But, you know, if come charging in, the ball's in the air. Catcher should always defer to a third or first baseman. You never want to try to catch a fly ball, a foul ball, because it's kind of abnormal for a catcher to try to catch one. The infielders are coming in. So a lot of things going on, but a great changeup again. Scott Kazmir threw Espinosa a couple of them. And that big swing, that leg kick, and the changeup thrown as well as Kazmir does, that'll get you in trouble. That'll send you back to the dugout as quick as it did.
So Espinosa strikes out. And here's the leadoff man, Denard Span. First pitch, a bit outside. Watch the fan behind in the yellow. Watch. Stand up. Yeah. Ha! That was a good one.
Yeah. Left-handed umpire.
Yeah. Stood up right at the right time.
Oh, that was a swing and miss. I want to see a called third strike. I mean, he'd be moon dancing.
Tom Hallion's got nothing on that fan behind home plate. Cespedes coming in. Cespedes, he's got all the colors covered today. He cannot miss Yoenis Cespedes today.
That's a great point. That glove that he is wearing, and the pink, the gold alternate jersey, the white pants.
Kevin
got it. You get some Mike and Ike's in there as well, you know.
It looks like it looks like my kid's cereal in the morning. A little bit of everything.
As long as he gets it done, it doesn't matter.
2 outs for Kevin Franson. So Kazmir says, I'm going to take these runs and then I'm going to do my best to get some shutdown innings. Franson hit a fly ball to right field his first at bat, and fastball inside. Angels won again. They beat the Blue Jays 9-3 in Toronto, so that's a 3-game sweep.
Mike who?
Dino Bell taking over as the manager.
New bench coach. Dino wants to be a manager, and he left the third base coaching box to join Mike Socha as his bench coach to learn a little bit more. Well, I guess he's learned a lot this weekend.
And it's not a sweep. They play tomorrow, so it's one of those wraparound series. But the Angels have won the first 3 games. So Angels feeling good about their time in Canada.
Well, they're feeling good about themselves in general.
Playing better.
Josh Hamilton starting to take some swings after his surgery.
Donaldson ranging far to his left, straightens up, throws him outside, retired. Kazmir has retired 5 in a row. We're headed to the bottom of the third. All A's early, 7-0.
on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay scores, stats, audio, free MLB.TV game of the day, and more. Download in the App Store or visit athletics.com today. See, the letter put that in red now because it's changed from Oakland Athletics.com, just because he knew I kept messing it up. So he put it in red, highlight, athletics.com.
That's our producer, Delaire LaWars, who constantly takes care of us, keeps an eye on us.
It's about a 16 font in red. I don't think I could mess it up.
I don't think I can either. Moss grounds out. One pitch, one out. Gio Gonzalez desperately needs a quick inning.
Delaire is finally figuring out that it's athletics.com, not, because that's going to be changed, I guess, by the end of the year. It's kind of, you can use either OaklandAthletics.com or athletics.com.
Those Atléticos. You can use that too. Punto chops one to short. Desmond has it. Throws in time, and Punto is retired. 2 ground ball outs for Gio Gonzalez here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
And on 3 pitches, so you're right. Looking for a quick inning.
Now batting right fielder, number 16, Josh Reddick.
Nice day. Breezy, but nice.
73 degrees at first pitch, so a few puffy clouds beyond Mount Davis, but other than that, a perfectly clear day.
Sounds like it's going to heat up in the Bay Area this week. A's will be home Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday day for the White Sox. A heat wave coming in.
Good to see a young man by the name of Abreu, and it's not Bobby.
It is not
Bobby. Bobby's back in the big leagues after going to AAA.
Looking forward to seeing Jose Abreu. The White Sox coming into today 19-19 in that AL Central. Their pitching has not been great. They're 13th in the league in ERA, but they lead the American League in runs scored. So they have a couple guys having terrific seasons. One of them is Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, who we've seen 4 or 5 years now, but he's leading the American League in hitting. And Jose Abreu leads the American League in home runs and RBI. So lots of offense from the White Sox.
I can't wait to see Hawk and find out what the nickname is for Mr. Abreu.
Yep.
From the Hawk.
That's
other than big guy.
That's the best reason to play the White Sox. We get to see Hawk Harrelson.
And eating Ed Farmer. Always look forward to Farmer's Deli in Chicago. That's a good one.
Look forward to a handful of Ed Farmer stories. Can't miss those either. White Sox are coming to town tomorrow. 7-0 A's over the Nationals as we head to the 4th. Time now for the forward right choice. The hero last night was John Jaso. This is what he did in the bottom of the 10th inning, but don't forget he homered earlier in the game And he got the 2-run rally in the bottom of the 9th inning. Started with a single. So terrific night last night for John Jaso. He got that during our post-game interview. So he's going to get the day off today. John Jaso. Flair for the dramatic. 8 last at-bat wins for the Athletics. Now how about the 5 wins when trailing after 7 innings? That's the most in the major leagues, and that's a lot. Rendon goes after the first pitch. He's retired. So 5 wins when trailing after 7 innings.
Now
that's in the first 37 games of the year.
Jason Worth.
It is hard to believe, but never give up, never quit, and you just don't expect games like last night. And the fact that John Jaso did what he did, catching, and Derek Norris backs it up today, also catching. I wonder why Rob Melvin's putting both in the lineup sometimes at the same time. One is a DH, one catcher.
Jaso's now a hot hitter. Norris has been a hot hitter for almost a month now. Decisions.
I just wonder how quickly the Baltimore Orioles will be calling, because Matt Wieters was placed on the disabled list with a bad elbow. Thought he might DH a little bit, but it's a scoring elbow, and they figure swinging the bat's going to keep irritating it. So a #1 catcher is put on the disabled list for the Orioles at a time that they're trying to win in a very tough Eastern Division.
Wieters goes to the DL. They get Chris Davis back from the disabled list, so you get a good hitter, but you put one on the disabled list.
Well, and Wieters is a good hitter, but his defense, handling the pitching staff, that's going to be hugely missed.
See where CC Sabathia was put on the disabled list today. They said he had some fluid in his right knee and it was bothering him. So,
and fastball outside again. Remember last time Worth went to the opposite field with a fastball.
This one's hit high to left field. Cespedes shading his eyes, fighting that sun, and he's got it. Out number 2. Nice job by Cespedes. Underhands it back in.
Derek Norris calling the fastball inside, similar to what he did on Friday with Tommy Malone, and not only inside but up a little bit. And Cespedes, boy, what a great shot with the right hand shading his eyes to the sun.
Watch this, right?
Yeah.
Watch how he flips it back in. All those underhand fast pitch softball pitchers are proud of you on Cespedes. He flipped it back in all the way to the infield underhand.
Yeah. Well, Derek Norris, who's been the hero of the day, his mother Jackie played softball.
Oh, so she sees that.
And you know they're watching. And
watch this. That's he threw it all the way back to the infield.
That's talent. That's well, we add another tool to his already 5-tool resume.
Throw underhand. Right at Lowry. Waits for a nice hop. Throws, and they get Ian Desmond. Side retired. 8 in a row retired by Scott Kazmir. Bottom of the 4th coming up. TSN California fan photo. Remember to put your name in your hometown town, and you're going to get a chance to be shown on an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Today's fan photos from Jeff Kirkpatrick from Manteca. That was Marley, and he was enjoying his first ball game here at the Coliseum. So thank you, Jeff. Hope Marley enjoys the game. Jeff Kirkpatrick from Manteca. It's our AT&T fan photo of the game. Having lots of fun with the AT&T fan photo of the game this year.
Gio starting to put it all together. Good curveball. He's threw some very good curveballs to Josh Reddick. Struck him out with a good fastball after a couple of big hooks.
And that is a good hook right there again. And Gentry strikes out. So that's the third strikeout for Gio Gonzalez.
And you know, some managers and pitching coaches, after a pitcher gets up 7 in the first 2 innings,
Shortstop.
he's gone. And, you know, the
Yes.
thing with Gio, I think they realize with the pitch count, he's going to get better and stronger. And he seems to, at least at this point, after the home run by Derek Norris, he has retired the next 5.
Lowry shoots one down the right field line. Fair. Picked up by Worth, who rifles it back in, but Lowry has a double. So double number 12 for Lowry. A big one last night.
Yep, he floated out to right field twice in this game. This time, though, a fastball that, with the pink bat on Mother's Day and Breast Cancer Awareness Day, was a double down the right field line.
Tied for 15 in the American League after 45 last year was the final number of doubles for Lowry. So 8 hits now for the A's to go with their 7 runs. The Nationals have just 2 hits. And the first pitch to Donaldson is a breaking ball for a strike. Donaldson walked and scored in the first, bounced out to third in the second.
If you remember this weekend in Toronto, this was a battery on May the 1st of 2010.
Right. Good call.
And Josh Donaldson came up, made his major league debut. He caught Gio Gonzalez on the Saturday afternoon, a 4-game the wraparound, similar to what the Angels are experiencing this weekend. And the only game won of the 4-game series was one pitched by Gio Gonzalez, struck out 8, and Josh Donaldson, who caught him, hit his first major league home run off Dana Evelyn. And
that's right, we remember that. Gio had, remember his mom was there?
Oh, yeah.
Big day for Gio Gonzalez.
The curveball, and Josh Donaldson looked like it may have got his back foot out of the way, and Lobaton caught it. So you know that if a catcher catches that ball, it does not hit the batter. That game also, and Gio striking out 8, he was getting his fastball on the inside part of the plate. Good, and just blowing fastballs by the right-handed hitters.
That curveball stays a bit high. 2-2 the count.
See, Josh doesn't want to remember that because he was a catcher. He's a third baseman now. And I don't think you'll ever see him put the gear on again.
I don't think so.
No. It's too valuable at third, and Bob Melvin knows it. Derek Norris would be the option if a third catcher is needed in an emergency. And Josh Donaldson, actually, I think there was a time last year that something happened towards the end, and he ran in the dugout thinking the catcher was going to have to come out and start putting shin guards on. So he was willing if necessary, but he was definitely valuable at third.
So Gio Gonzalez, he put it all together in 2010. Again in 2011, and then he was an all-star in 2011. He struggled a fair amount his first couple years. He was back and forth between the minor leagues and the big leagues. But 15-9, 16-12.
But you know, he was a little bit upset when he was with the A's because he had been traded so many times. He didn't realize that he was so good that teams wanted him. signed by the White Sox, traded to the Phillies, back to the White Sox, traded to the A's, and now to the Nationals. And when you're a young pitcher and throw as well as he does and has, a valuable commodity, especially a left-handed pitcher. And he was very sensitive to the fact he thought that maybe he wasn't so good, and that's why he's being traded, but it was just the opposite.
3-2 to Donaldson. Chopped slowly to Rendon, who throws on the run to get Donaldson, and that's out number 2. But he put it all together with the A's, and now I don't think there's any doubt he's one of the best left-handers in all of baseball.
That's the Toronto game. That's at Rogers Center. Alternate goals and All-Star Gio. The only pitcher who probably gets 3 haircuts a week, and especially a haircut on everyday pitches.
Keep it tight.
Yep. He's let his hair grow a little bit longer. Since, as you mentioned, CC Sabathia on the DL, that's some big company there, especially the top 3 with Sabathia, Gonzalez, and Kershaw.
The Nationals, when they made the trade for Gio Gonzalez, which was in December of 2011, soon after that they signed him to a long-term contract. Right. I think it was a 5-year deal.
Well, and some would say, and been told, that he left a lot of money on the table. He'll make up for it.
So this would be the 3rd year of that 5-year contract. So a couple more years. He's 28 now, so he could be a free agent at 30 or 31 years old.
And he's always durable.
His health has been good.
Absolutely. And that's what's shocking. I think CC, that might be the first time he's ever going to deal.
It's not his arm.
Yeah.
It's his knee. And a high fastball. Cespedes strikes out. A couple of strikeouts in the inning for Gio Gonzalez, and Lowry is stranded at 3rd. We're headed to the 5th. A's 7, Nationals nothing. Awareness Day, the A's have raised $70,635 for breast cancer research. So congratulations to the A's. Always a special day on the field before the game. 350 Bay Area breast cancer survivors. Of course, they form the symbolic human ribbon on the field. So, indeed, always a special day. And a great job by the Athletics. Again, $70,635 raised here on Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Players showing their respects with the pink bats, pink wristbands. And a nice crowd today, Ray. 28,205.
And I think the giveaway was a pink rally towel.
That's right.
So I'm up in the press area. Still haven't received ours yet. Joe, you got yours yet?
So warm and breezy today, and going to get warmer the next couple of days. And a high fastball, and that was a bit of a no chance. Scott Hairston chased it. Third strikeout for Scott Kazmir.
Good to get him out. Just up the ladder and see Derek Norris. He wants it high and just raised his mitt about 6 inches, exactly where he put the target. You know, we've seen Derek Norris today have a tremendous day at the bat, but let's not forget that he's called back-to-back shutouts. He had the Wednesday second game, off day Thursday, then Friday night with Tommy Malone, and then already today. So he is on a nice run as his pitchers. I mean, it's a nice combination to have with he and Jaso, two catchers, and especially when both can be in the lineup at the same time.
Quick 0-2 to Tyler Moore. Jose Lobaton to follow. Moore lined out to the second baseman in the second inning. Fouls it back. So Scott Kazmir is just rocking and firing right now. He's got a nice big lead. Stuff is good. He's allowed just a couple of hits.
It might take his offense out to dinner a few times because they've scored him some runs, and you know there are times that a pitcher has to pitch without getting a lot of run support. When there's Tommy Malone, and there are those who get the run support, but it's not that easy to pitch with it either. You know, you're afraid of giving up a lot of runs when you get the run support, so you appreciate the runs and have to work with it. Scott seems to know how to pitch when he does get support.
Started thinking about getting through that 5 innings. So 2-2 the count to Moore. And that one's hit hard. Lowry handles it. Throws in time. Nice play by the shortstop Jed Lowry. So 10 in a row now retired by Scott Kazmir.
Well, this was a great play by Lowry because he kind of lifted him up off the ground after he caught the ball, and strong throw. And you know things are going right as a pitcher when you give up a rocket and it's right to one of the infielders. In this case, Lowry making a very nice play.
Lobaton bounces it foul.
I think Lobaton was the catcher captain we saw was with the Rays. He never took a pitch, and I think we're seeing it again today.
Let it rip.
Yeah, because Scott Kazmir has thrown him change-ups, and he is aggressive. Wilson Ramos, of course, is the regular catcher when healthy, and he caught the first 2 games. So Lobaton, one of those, give me a chance to play. I'm not going to be taking a lot of pitches.
Switch hitter Lobaton. And it's 1-2. And he, with Ramos being hurt, he played more the start of this season than the Nationals figured. They had to have him. 1-2 pitch is a fastball up and away. Homer and 7 RBIs for Lobaton. Off the end of the bat, Cespedes coming in. He's got it. Side retired. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for Scott Kazmir. Bottom of the 5th coming up. 7-0 A's.
Of the Xfinity Friday Family Pack. Every Friday home game, you can get 4 Plaza level tickets, 4 Coliseum hot dogs, 4 medium sodas, and 4 bags of peanuts for only $50. Tickets are limited, so act fast. For more information and tickets, go to athletics.com/Friday. 28,000 plus on hand to see if Derek Norris can do something that not a lot of players have done. He's done it in the first 2 at-bats. And that's it, of course, 4 home runs. The way he's swinging, you never know, but remarkable day already for the A's catcher.
Last player to hit 2 home runs on a 3-0 count, Chase Utley for the Phillies in 2007.
Did he do it back-to-back at bats in the first 2 innings?
Off the same pitcher.
Same pitcher? That's a good point.
I don't know.
How about that?
But we like it.
And you mentioned the trade. Gio Gonzalez, the recipient of the A's of catcher Derek Norris.
Coming alone in that trade.
Yeah. Derek Norris had been in the minor leagues. The broadcaster talking about they'd interviewed him, but he'd been the minor league player of the year, but just really infrequently coming to the Nationals, the big leagues. Well, here we go. And listen to the fans. I mean, these fans are into it because they know exactly what has happened. And Gio is shaking his head before he even gets a sign. Maybe out of frustration. Fastball away.
And it's not anywhere near the strike zone.
Well, this was the first 2 at-bats, first inning. 2 outs. 3-0, home run. Over the out-of-town scoreboard, left field. A 3-run home run, and then he wasn't happy with just 1. Comes up again the next inning, 3-0, 2 on. 3-0 fastball inside. Gio, you got to be kidding me. No wonder they tried to acquire him. What a season for Derek Norris, and what a special day for him. Steve McCaddy out to talk. And kind of one of the things I found out about Derek Norris, and maybe we can see if, well, he got hit by his mother. His mother played softball. When Derek was, he said 3 or 4, he was in their kind of little playhouse area. And his mother was taking batting practice, hitting softballs. And his mother said to Derek, don't be sticking your head out of that, I'm going to hit you. And Derek said, the odds of that happening, forget it. She smoked him in the head, right in the top of the right head. And he showed me, he says, I have a permanent red spot on my forehead. He said, when I perspire, it shows up. And he pulled his hair back, and there's the red spot where his mother hit him when he's 3 or 4 years old. And he said in big backyard and farm in Kansas, she nailed him. And we saw her in Texas how intense she was. Yeah, and every time he comes to plate, Russ, of course, the dad, and his mother Jackie, but he was so proud the fact that his mother did it, but so surprised that the odds of that happening would happen.
Mother's Day stories by Ray Fosse.
But he showed me that red spot, Kai. But we'll have to. If it stays the same we have in postgame, take your helmet off, push your hair back. Let's see the red spot.
I'll let you ask that question.
Oh, I will. That's why I want to stay the same.
Hey, Derek, show us that helmet, please. Franson stays with it. I mean, that is not an easy play today.
Well, the breeze, you just never know. In view quarters of right field, blowing it towards left field, and Franson knows there's a lot of foul territory. He played at a place that had a lot of foul territory as well. Home games, but
Number 37, first baseman.
no, that was more. I said Franson. That was more that is the first
That's
baseman.
right.
Franson's a left
field. Franson too.
Yeah.
I was concentrating on your story.
I thought because Franson's been all over the place. He was at first base in the first game.
So Derek sticks his head out of the window.
Yeah. Yeah, she nailed it. But it's amazing when he pulled the hair back, and it's there. The red spot is there, and he said it's always firing a little bit. There it was.
Two 2-0 to Moss with Norris at first. Hit high and foul left field side near the tarp.
Funny thing about Derek Norris, he was telling me too when we talk about the no facial hair rule for the Yankees. Evidently in the Washington Nationals minor league system, they don't have a no facial hair. As you look at Derek Norris now, you wonder how
he's rebelling.
Yeah. That's a happy catcher.
There's a shot past Desmond at short, and that's a base hit to center field. Moss with a line single, so he's 2 for 3.
Well, that's doing that off a tough lefty. It just shows you Brandon Moss with a couple of hits today that, yes, he can handle anybody, and especially a hard-throwing lefty, and right past Gio, past the shortstop into left center field. And that might be the last pitch by one of the fan favorites here at the Coliseum and in Oakland, Gio Gonzalez.
So Gio's return to the Coliseum, not a good one. He goes 4 1/3, gives up 7 runs, and that's going to do it for him. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change, tune up, and repair experts.
And listen to this chip and chili platter. That's in quotes, folks. Presented by Ross Dress for Less. This one-of-a-kind item recognizes A's bench coach Chip Hale and hitting coach Chili Davis. The chip and chili platter will be a great addition to any barbecue. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/tickets or call 877-493-BALL. Can't wait for the chip and chili plate.
That would be fun. That'd be try. Ready to try it right now.
Yeah. Just have to bring some chip and chili when we get our chip and chili platter.
This is Craig Stammen. Stammen takes over for Gonzalez here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 on 1 out for Punto. Punto 1 for 2. An RBI single in the 1st inning when the A's scored 4 times. So 88 pitches for Gio Gonzalez. Gio was coming off a terrific performance at Philadelphia in his last start. A game he lost 1-0, but he pitched great. Not today.
In hindsight, for Gio, it probably would have been best for him not to pitch this weekend. Just to enjoy the homecoming. Emotions, I'm sure, running high and want to pitch so well. But 2 3-0 counts to hottest hitter, at least on the A's, and they live in the baseball, and Derek Norris, and he took care of them. Derek was saying that in the minor leagues, if they had any facial hair, they had to run, as he said, around the quad, which is like 4 fields, and run laps. So that's why he is rebelling, I think, with the big beard. All those trips around 4 fields, and just
harsh.
Just a little bit of a facial hair look. I only thought the Yankees at the major league level had the rule. But for Derek Norris, don't change a thing, because the way he is going right now, swinging well, catching looked great. There's a lot of compliments from the Red Sox hitters when they came to the plate last weekend, thinking that you should be one of us. The beard.
2-2 to Nick Punto. And now 3-2. Reddick will be next. Outfield shifted toward left center and shallow all the way around for Nick Punto. Stammen's ready. And the pitch is foul back. The Red Sox are leading the Rangers 5-2 in the 8th inning in Arlington. And the Mariners with a 6-5 lead over the Royals in the 5th inning. That's a wild game back and forth between the Royals and the Mariners. Royals jumped out to an early lead in that game. Early 4-1 lead. Three-two pitch, strike 3 call. Punto flips the bat. He thought he had ball 4. So 2 outs.
A back door, and the way Lobaton caught the ball, kind of backhand like the ball was running away from him. He wanted it inside and had reached for it. So really not a bad pitch if you look at where it was on the plate. But Lobaton made it look bad by the way he caught it, and instead of turning his mitt towards the plate, he took it away, and that's what it made it look like it was out of the strike zone.
Reddick has struck out twice. Once swinging, once looking. And he takes the first pitch strike.
We do not know how he will do. He couldn't be happy though Gio's not in the game.
Yeah. Tough lefty.
Yeah, and with all the left-handed hitters in the A's lineup, somebody has to play against the lefties. Usually Reddick is that player, and rare to see him hit in the 9th spot, but that's respect for Gio Gonzalez, the starting pitcher, and the left-handed pitcher.
Reddick with a line shot, right field, coming in is Worth. He goes into a slide and he makes a very nice play. So Reddick hit it right on the nose, but into the glove of Worth. Side retired. 6th inning coming up, 7-0 A's. Here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's Mother's Day 2010. Dallas Braden pitches the 19th perfect game in Major League history. He does it against the Rays. 109 pitches. And Dallas Braden lost his mother to breast cancer when he was a young man. His grandmother was here. And that will always be one of our favorite moments ever
Peggy Lindsay jumping. She couldn't wait to jump out of the stands to go down on the field, and Dallas Braden with a big hug, and we wish Dallas the best, and then send him a congratulatory note and kind of an anniversary. And he said, miss everybody, say hello to Kipe and Ken and Vince and Dallas Braden. And the one thing he said too was that, see if Scott Kazmir can throw the great changeup off his fastball. Well, that's what Dallas Braden did so well. That was his line. Perfect on Mother's Day 2010. And Dallas Braden, of course, fortunately had some shoulder problems and announced his retirement.
Landon Powell.
That's right.
Is his catcher.
That's right. Dallas Braden, of course, with so many of the pickoffs, throwovers, and everything being Jerry Blevins was there, Gio Gonzalez on the team as well. I remember Dallas Braden telling Bob Garrett, I can control my own running game. Of course, he threw to first and picked guys off and had a great move. But did a great job. It's unfortunate that injuries probably shortened his career.
Espinosa swings and misses, so he strikes out for the second time.
And that pitch made Dallas Braden happy. He said, I'll be watching, and he just saw a great changeup from Scott Kazmir.
Number 2, Denard Span.
There's that big leg kick again, Espinosa, and throw a changeup, pull the string with the outside pitch. You're not going to hit it.
So 12 in a row retired by Scott Kazmir since Scott Hairston one-out single in the second inning. And he has just cruised along. Sitting on 72 pitches. Lowry has it, throws on the run, and they got Span. He's very fast. And Lowry made a very nice play. Quick release. Quick transfer.
And we've seen Josh Donaldson cut in front trying to catch, see where Lowry's playing. And then Lowry just caught it, threw it, and good stretch at first base. And Brandon Moss on the other end helped, but just glad the ball was not deflected off Donaldson's glove. And an excellent play and the correct call. Quick release is so important for an infielder, especially if you don't have a lot of time and fast runner spans.
First pitch to Franson is a fastball high.
Brandon Moss with the foot not quite touching the bag by Span.
Franson has hit a fly ball to right field, and he has bounced out to third. So he's 0 for 2 today. 2 for 10 in the series. Chased a high fastball 2-1.
Every time we see the highlights of the perfect game, I don't know about you, but I think we're both sitting here looking at the scorebook in the ninth inning saying, that perfect game.
It did sneak up on us a little bit, yeah.
And just kind of one of those that Cruz made a couple of great plays at third base, but just not one that you thought about until you look at your scorebook and see nothing.
Yeah, you think no hitter.
Yeah.
You're sort of conscious of that. But.
And then the ground ball is hit to a rookie at shortstop.
That's right.
And he makes a perfect throw to Derek Barton. Gabe Kapler helped out by swinging the pitch that maybe was close, not being a strike. Just all things worked out. Funny thing, Peggy Lindsay. She said, I need to get down there. She's on the dugout just jumping, doing everything she could to get down there. He said, you can't go on the field. Yes, I can. I'm his grandmother.
That's right. I can do whatever I want.
That's right.
Gentry hustling back near the wall, just enough room, and he makes the catch.
We miss our eclairs too.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I knew you were thinking about that.
So Kazmir rolls on 7-0 A's. 3 straight World Championships will be celebrated Friday, May 30th and Saturday, May 31st. Raleigh Fingers, Sal Bando, Vida Blue, Gene Tennis, and our own Ray Fosse will be honored. There'll be autograph sessions on Friday and a meet and greet on Saturday with proceeds benefiting the Jim Catfish Hunter ALS Foundation. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/1974. This afternoon at the Coliseum, it's the A's with a 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Greg Stammen got the final 2 outs in the 5th when he relieved Gio Gonzalez. He's in the top of the A's order. Gentry 1 for 3. The Nationals were here in 2003, Ray, but they were actually the Montreal Expos.
Yeah, that, of course, we have not been to the new stadium in Washington. I know your brother and Krug have, and they were talking about the height of the press box in the broadcast area. We went to RFK a couple years before they opened the new downtown stadium.
Nationals, in their 10th year, they moved from Montreal in 2005. So in Montreal from 69 to 2004. And now the Washington Nationals kept the W of the Senators.
Yeah, yeah, the old Washington Senators. Washington Senators moved to Arlington, Texas. And the Texas Rangers.
And that's going to be a blue pit for Gentry. So Gentry has a leadoff hit. Here's our AT&T Uvers rewind, 1987. That's Tim Raines. And it's right here at the Coliseum, and it was the All-Star game. A couple of singles, stole a base. And then in the 13th inning, he had the big hit that was the difference. National League won it 2-0. Tim Raines as an Expo.
And many think should be in the Hall of Fame. Thanks to Ricky Henderson, stolen bases, and the Rock spent some time with the Athletics. I think that was Jay Howell making the pitch in the All-Star game from the closer for the Athletics.
Jay Howell.
Yeah, the Rock was good. About 808 stolen bases.
Down the left field line, but it's going to be foul. You know, Ray, you mentioned that Senators moved to Arlington in 1972. Well, from that point on until now, there's only been one team that has moved in Major League Baseball, and that was the Expos to Washington, D.C. One team in the last 41 years that has actually moved. Major League Baseball does not like teams moving. And that's a base hit to right field, so Lowry has 2 hits. And the A's have 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
First 2 hits in this inning, 2 strike hits, and watch him just react on a fastball in. Hips open up, top hand, and finds the hole between first and second. So Jen Lowry heating up. A fly balls to right field, then a double to right, and a single to right.
So 11 hits now for the Athletics, just 2 for the Nationals. Donaldson 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That one is fouled just to our left, right into the Washington Nationals booth. FP Santangelo.
Clank.
Well, it was more toward the cameraman, Keith Combs, who dove underneath the camera. He really didn't want anything to do with it. And there's a line shots band coming in, and he makes a nice sliding catch. Donaldson thinking, how does that ball not fall for a base hit? And it looked like it was going to.
Stayed up a long time, and I tell you, watch Span make a great play. But if he had missed it, that ball kind of hooked on him a little bit. Reached back to his right, and with nobody to block it, if he does miss it, the ball rolls to the wall. He's on the ground, and it's a foot race, but tremendous play by Denard Span, former Minnesota Twin.
So here's Cespedes. Single and run scored in the first. Walked and scored in the second. Struck out swinging in the fourth.
You mentioned Denard Span's name in that Friday night at Target Field when Johnny Gomes hit the grand slam off of Francisco Liriano because of a miscue by
struck the fly ball.
Load the bases, and Johnny Gomes hit the slam. Francisco Liriano struck out 16 and lost the game.
1-0 pitch to Cespedes. His roll foul. Cespedes 3 for 10 in the series. Nationals will head to Arizona after the ball game. They will have a 3-game series against the Diamondbacks Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Diamondbacks beat the White Sox 5-1. So the White Sox will get on a plane and they will head to the Bay Area.
Arizona, Phoenix is where Gio is an all-star with the A's.
That's right. That's where the game was.
Yeah. See the small foul territory behind home plate in the diamond level. That's a great shot, Tommy, with the area behind home plate. So it's not that far for a catcher to have to go for a ball that gets by him. Catch foul. When diamond level here, it's behind home plate, is closer to home plate than the pitcher's mound. You know it's not very far. Distance between home plate and where the diamond level seating, where they eat food all game and just have a great time.
Nice little pocket of seats down there. 1-2 to Cespedes.
It's warm, but you get beverages, you get food to eat.
Worth makes the catch, and Worth gets it back in. So Cespedes now 1 for 3 after the fly ball to right field. So here comes Norris, who's going to get a big round of applause. Why not? He's got 6 RBIs, a pair of 3-run homers. Most RBIs by an A's catcher in one game. Norris could get the record with a base hit right here. Gentry at second, Lowry at first.
Derek has seen 12 pitches today, 2 strikes. And that's it. 2 home runs from those 2 strikes that he got on 3-0.
First pitch is a slider down and away. Reddick had a 3-homer game last year, remember, right, in Toronto.
5 in 2 days, Friday and Saturday at Rogers Center.
Stammen with a look. Sinking fastball that's low.
And the good thing about Derek Norris, not only is he swinging the bat well, but he's patient and knows the strike zone. Those first 2 pitches, hitters get a little bit anxious and think about trying to hit the ball a long way. Cheddar Davis knows what it's like to hit home runs. And John Jaso last night, standing next to him.
Norris, good swing, fouls it right to the backstop. Norris now on the year with 4 home runs and 19 RBIs.
There's a line drive toward left field, and Franson grabs it. Side retired. So a couple of hard hit balls by the A's here in the 6th. They strand a pair. We're headed to the 7th.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
State Farm is giving you the chance to win MVP tickets, a prize pack for Catfish Hunter Bobblehead Day, and a once-in-a-lifetime meet-and-greet opportunity with the 1974 A's team. Enter to win at winwiththeStateFarm.com/Oakland A's by May 16th, and you could be a winner. That's winwithstatefarm.com/Oakland A's by the 16th of May, which is coming up next week, this coming week. The reunion, the weekend, which is the 31st, 30th, and 31st, and 1st of June.
So Scott Kazmir has retired 14 consecutive Nationals hitters. And he's really making it look pretty easy.
7 ground ball outs, 7 fly ball outs, and 4 strikeouts for the 6 innings.
1-1 to Anthony Rendon, who has grounded out and hit a fly ball to center field. Jerry Blevins starts to throw. Check swing, slowly hit. Punto charges, scoops it up, and that's out number 1. So Rendon is now 0 for 3, and here's Jason Worth. The last hit for the Nationals, they only have 2 today, but it was Scott Hairston's 1-out single in the second.
Number 28, Jason Worth.
So Worth steps in. First pitch curveball right in there for a strike. He's getting everything over as well. No walks, 4 strikeouts. Amazing when you see a guy just comfortable. He's just rocking and firing. Look at the difference between Ks per 9 innings, walks per 9 innings, which are both down, but the ground balls are up. That's interesting. Little flip job to left center, and that's going to fall for a hit. So Worth has his second hit. So immediately you see that graphic and you immediately think, oh, strikeouts are down.
but it's actually a good thing.
Sure.
Less strikeouts, but maybe some quicker outs, more ground ball.
Yeah, and deeper in the game, which is always good, especially with a big lead. He has had since the second inning.
Desmond.
Back to the first inning, Rendon had a 3-1 count, Worth a 3-2 count. Other than that, the rest of the game, he has not had anything more than a 2-2 count. So limiting the number of pitches, getting quick outs, and that's the first base runner in quite a while.
Swing and a miss by Ian Desmond. Ian Desmond is 0 for 9 in this series. A little bit of a mystery this year. Desmond, people in the National League will tell you he's one of the best players in the National League, but as he's going to get his first hit there, he drops a single in the right field. Desmond hitting right around the 220 mark with that hit.
But it jammed him, and this time Josh Reddick not able to get to the ball. The hands in, but still got jammed. Lofted it perfectly to right field.
Number 7, Scott Harrison.
So 2 base runners in an inning. Second time that's happened for the Nationals. And Scott Hairston will hit. Hairston hits it hard to Donaldson. Nice backhand, and what a double play by the A's. Smooth as ever. Donaldson to Punto to Moss. 5-4-3 side retired. 7th inning stretch from the Coliseum. 7-0 A's.
We'd like to thank you for coming out and spending Mother's Day with us and Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Thank you so much for being here.
Hitting star, Kazmir the pitching star so far, and the A's have a 7-0 lead, bottom of the 7th here at the Coliseum. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Jerry Blevins comes in. Solid season again for Jerry Blevins. We're not surprised. Lots of appearances. His 19th, a couple of wins, and he'll face Callaspo.
3-1 strikeout to walk ratio for him as Zach Walters, who played left field last night, takes over at shortstop.
Blevins' first pitch to Callaspo is outside. Nate McLeod comes in the game in right field, so Worth is out. Also a new shortstop in the game. Zach Walters is the shortstop. So Desmond out and Worth out. Swing and a miss. Blevins is now 30 years old, 5th year. He's got Billy Burns, that speedy outfielder who had such a terrific spring training for the A's. He was one of the better Cactus League players.
Yeah, great story, and learning to switch hit, utilize his speed. Of course, Jerry Blevins, very popular in A's uniform and in the area. You know, he was the player representative for the Athletics, so it's perfect for him to go to Washington. You know, player rep goes to Washington.
That's true.
What was that? Mr. Smith goes to Washington.
Mr. Blevins goes
Mr. Blevins goes to Senator Jerry Blevins here. So he must fit perfectly in the nation's capital.
But you think about, remember Jerry, you know, he's walking the plane. He always looked nice.
Yeah,
nice suit on, nice tie. So he had the look going too.
I think so, and I think it's a natural fit for him to go to the Capitol. I mean, he's never going to gain weight. I mean, we look at food and gain weight. Jerry Blevins just can consume, do what he wants. And I mean, anytime you have people yelling your name, I don't care if it's 1, 2 in the morning, whatever time it is, and they're chanting Jerry, Jerry, and you know you're good. And that time he was good. That was the unbelievable double play turned out at Anaheim. Of course, hard slider, cutter, curveball, backdoor. He showed more emotion those 2 shots. I don't know, Larry, where you got those, but that's more he showed the whole time he played here. It's great to see it.
First pitch to Brandon Moss is high. So Callaspo with the leadoff walk.
He got the save in Anaheim. Remember that 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
1-run game.
Yeah, strikeout in an game-ending double play.
You and I were going, extra innings, here we come. And Jerry said, I don't think so.
He did it the way you're supposed to. You get a strikeout and a double play. Not necessarily scripted, and he didn't think it was going to happen. It was Kendrys Morales batting from the right side. No, Howie Kendrick.
Howie Kendrick hit the double play. I think he struck out Kendrys Morales.
Yes, he did. And then Howie Kendrick, he pulled the ball, which was surprising. Pulled it to third, started the double play to end the game instead of going oppo the way he always does.
So 2-1 to Moss, who is 2 for 3. Couple of singles for Brandon Moss.
See, Jerry's worn 13, and you know, you change teams and you want to try to get your same number. 13 is not hard to acquire because most clubs, a lot of clubs don't have a 13 being worn.
Or you don't want it. Jerry doesn't care. Line to left center field, and Span's not going to catch this one. Callaspo hustling for third. Moss to second with a double. 3-hit game for Moss.
And against lefties. And that's great. That's great to see. Remember last year, 30 home runs, mostly against right-handed pitching, and did not start a lot. So what he has done today, facing Gio, and now Jerry Blevins. A couple of hits. And Moss hit the walk-off home run in the 19-inning game in which Jerry Blevins got the win.
So Lobaton and Blevins get the sign straight with a couple of runners on. Punto with a base hit in the first inning that knocked in a run, then a ground out and a strikeout. And he lines one fair, headed for the left field corner, and that's going to bring home a pair. Nick Punto with a 2-run double, and the A's now lead 9-0. So Callaspo and Moss come in to score.
3 RBI day for Nick Punto, and Like he did against Gio in the first inning, jumped on a first pitch fastball here. With the double by Moss, Cayasco with a walk, and quickly the A's have 2 more.
So Punto has doubled his RBI total for the year. So what made you then choose number 13 when you went to Milwaukee? I think that's a legitimate baseball question. You were 8 with the Indians and 10.
Well, 10 was given to me. I wanted 8 when I came to Oakland, but Charlie said no, wear number 10 because we're going to, trade it for Dave Duncan and want to keep it the same. And said we're going to take pictures.
Did anybody have 8?
I can't remember. Maybe Manny Tria. I don't remember. But Charlie basically said, no, you'll wear number 10 because we're going to take pictures. So I went to Mason to take pictures. They didn't have the number on the front of the uniform, so it didn't matter. Had Athletics or Oakland, it didn't matter.
Do you think he wanted to let you know that he was in charge of just about everything?
Thank you. Yes.
There's a soft fly drive grab by Espinosa. So Reddick is 0 for 4.
Yep. Check the hair, too, man.
So number 13.
No, that was just trying something different. That's all. That's all it was.
Craig Gentry.
Didn't work out there either.
Hamstring got you there.
Hamstring, bad knee, a lot of things. Yeah. Now, there's some clubs that will not allow. I think late George Steinbrenner did not want anybody to wear number 13. Of course, A-Rod went there and wore 13.
Fastball down around the knees to Gentry.
You mentioned Matt Keogh when he was part of the big 5 of Steve McCaddy, that group of 5 pitchers. He played in Japan, and I think I remember him saying that 13 was a lucky number in Japan. And Matt played there, and he said the number 4 was comparable to 13 here.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. And he played there, so I remember asking him about it because I think Yabu, Kiichi Yabu, played for the A's, a Japanese pitcher. Anyway, he was wearing it, but it was supposedly a lucky number. But anyway, that was.
So 4 is
supposedly that's what I was told by Matt. But when we went to Tokyo, I didn't remember seeing any 4s or 13s. I don't know. But 13 is typically one of those numbers that if an ownership and general manager, a little superstition, they figure 13 is not a number that's going to be worn.
paying the bills.
Yeah.
Long run for McLeod from right field, and he goes into a slide, and he caught it. Foul territory. Nate McLeod had a lot of ground to cover, and he got to it, so Gentry is out, 2 outs.
Now, normally, with the ball in foul territory, runner at second base, and Nick Punto has nothing to do except tag, but this ball looked like he's going to be fair. And that's why Nick went halfway with 1 out. And if he had known he was going to go into foul territory, he would have been tagging and gone to third. But long run by McLeod that ended up in foul territory with a sliding catch. Great concentration, fighting the sun, and making a very nice play. Like that.
With the Pirates. Pirates thought they had a rising star in Nate McLeod back then.
Well, they did with the Orioles, as you mentioned, at the start of the series.
Joe Savory starts to throw. He's trying to get him into a game. One and one to Lowry, who's 2 for 4. It's good to see Lowry maybe starting to get his stroke back. He went through a little slow period offensively, but now starting to come back. Taps this one slowly. Walters, the new shortstop, throws across his body side, retired. Punto with a 2-run double, so the A's extend their lead as we head to the 8th inning. It's now 9-0 Athletics.
the O.co Coliseum, where 10,000 fans will receive an elephant batting practice camp presented by Cache Creek Casino Resort prior to the 1:05 p.m. matinee against the Detroit Tigers. This must-have snapback hat. This is must-have snapback hat. Anyway, the must-have snapback hat features flat bill and the iconic A's elephant logo. For our information and tickets, visit athletics.com/tickets, or you can call 877-493-BALL.
It's must-have snapback.
Thank you.
Yep.
You say it fast. That's good.
9-0, the A's lead, and we got a new pitcher. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. We get our first look at Joe Savory. 4-0 at AAA Sacramento. Pitched in 10 games. A's got Savory from the Phillies. They claimed him off waivers right at the beginning of spring training, February 17th. He was in the mix to make the club out of spring training. So our first look at Joe Savory here in the big leagues this year. He has 41 major league appearances, all with the Phillies. There's the line for Scott Kazmir. 7 shutout innings, and he really did make it look easy.
Going to finish his afternoon on a great double play started by Donaldson on a 5-4-3 double play after a couple of guys on base. It really happened in the second inning. Also, when he had a couple of base runners, but got the last 2 batters to keep it a shutout. Donaldson with the great hands at third, starting the double play with a perfect throw to Punto at second.
One-two pitch. Hit toward Punto, slides to his right. That's out number 1. So Tyler Moore is retired. So Scott Kazmir Ray, with the 7 shutout innings, now has an ERA of 2.28.
Number 59, Jose.
He continues his terrific performance. So we'll see him in Cleveland pitching against his old team. So that would be, I guess, probably Saturday. He's have an off day on Thursday, and then the 3-game series in Cleveland next weekend. Here's Lobaton. Lobaton, a ground out and a fly out. And there's a line drive right center field, and that's a hit. A soft line drive by Lobaton. So hit number 5 for the Nationals.
On the 1-0 fastball, and
Number 8.
pretty good location on the fastball down and in, but also handled nicely by Lobaton, the always aggressive switch hitter.
Speaking of switch hitters, here's Danny Espinosa. The Red Sox beat the Rangers today 5-2 in Texas. The Red Sox trying to help out the A's. So the Red Sox go to Arlington and take 2 out of 3.
And the one game they lost, they were almost no hit.
Driven to right. Reddick hustling back, still going back near the wall, and Reddick makes the catch. Gets it back in quickly. Very nice play by Reddick in right field.
Amazing thing, not only does Josh Reddick get a great jump on the ball, but watch as he goes back and catches. His first reaction is to look at first base to see what the base runner's doing. Is he trying to think about maybe rounding the bag? Is he going to get a chance to double him off? Tremendous play, banging into the wall, but immediately thinking maybe I can get 2. First of all, he robbed him of extra bases and maybe a run batted in. And Lobaton at least stayed at first base.
So here's Span with 2 outs. Span is 0 for 3. The Rangers, after wrapping up that series, they will now head to Houston for a 3-game series. Quick trip.
That interleague play? Used to be.
That's it. You know what? That's a fair question. I know it doesn't sound like it is, but we're still getting used to the Astros being in the American League.
That's got to be disappointing for the Rangers because, unfortunately, I think for the rest of the league, they really took advantage. It's unfortunate for them that they are not interleague rivals anymore.
That was their interleague advantage.
Absolutely.
Because let's face it, the Astros have not been very good. Span skies one. Right center. Everybody shading their eyes. Reddick fighting it, and Reddick makes the catch. So a lot of action for Josh Reddick in right field, and as always, he takes care of it. 9-0 A's as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Game summary is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 0-5-0 for the Nationals. 9-13-0 for the Athletics. So Gio Gonzalez hit hard today. 9 hits and 7 runs in 4 1/3 innings. Kazmir, the exact opposite. He just rolled along. 7 shutout innings. So we got a new pitcher. It's Aaron Barrett. Barrett pitched in game 1 of the series. Good numbers so far this year for the young right-hander. First pitch to Donaldson is a fastball inside. Donaldson 0 for 3, walked and scored in the first. The Angels beat the Blue Jays 9-3. Weaver over Hutchison. And Conger had 5 RBIs in that game. So the Angels have won 8 out of 12.
Well, that's quite a weekend for the catching core of the Angels because Chris Iannetta had a big weekend as well. At least the first couple of games. You mentioned it's a wraparound.
Yep.
Had one of those last year in Toronto.
Yeah. They usually get one a year, and it's a bit strange. So a wraparound is when you play a weekend series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you also play on Monday, the same town. So it's a 4-game series, Friday through Monday. That extra game, they call it, making a wraparound series.
And in Toronto, which is good, they play Saturday day games, which means a Saturday and Sunday day game. That's a long trip.
That's right. We were there last year for 5 nights.
That's right.
We got there on a Wednesday night, had Thursday off, and then had a wraparound.
That's a good point.
So Donaldson is called out on strikes. Here's Cespedes. The Angels will then play at Philadelphia on Tuesday and Wednesday. Just a 2-game series, and then they'll go home. So that's what's coming up in the next couple days for the Angels. So we can stay out on the road for a little bit. It's a wild one going on up at Safeco Field. The Royals have grabbed the lead back. It's the Royals 9, the Mariners 7 in the 7th inning. It was 4-1 Royals after 1 inning. And then the Mariners took the lead, and now the Royals have the lead back. Mariners 2.5 games behind the A's in the AL West. Fastball outside corner, a strike to Cespedes, so the count 0-2. Cespedes has been on base twice with a single and a walk. He's scored a couple runs. Houston beat the Orioles 5-2. Cozart over Tillman. Jason Castro with a 3-run homer. So Astros had a very difficult loss last night. They bounced back and winning. Break up the Orioles' 5-game winning streak. 2-2 now to Cespedes.
It's been a tough goal with Matt Wieters out, because boy, he did so much and has done so much for the Orioles, especially handling the pitching staff. Gold Glove catcher. Sometimes you have to find out who you can get to replace somebody like that, and they're going to have to find out.
Little pop up behind second base, and Espinosa gets over there.
Here's today's Honda Player of the Game. Guess who? About first inning, 3-0 fastball, 3-run home run. That was in the first inning. Comes up in the second inning, identical situation. Couple on, couple out, and a 3-0 fastball, and another 3-run home run. So 6 runs batted in, 2 swings in the bat, 8 pitches. He saw 2 strikes, and they came both on a 3-0 count. Unfortunately for Gio Gonzalez, although he did settle down after the first 2 innings, would not give up another run until another former athlete, Dre Blevins, came in. So tough day for former A's players. They've given up the runs.
So 0-1 to Norris as he's readjusting that shin guard. Outside of the 2 home runs, he also walked in the 5th and then lined out in the 6th. He lined out with a couple of runners on. He's not feeling that great right now, though. Broken bat. The bat goes just about as far as the pop-up. Drops into the glove of Zach Walters. Side retired. 9th inning. He's trying to wrap it up.
And, you know, just going on from there, make sure I get my phone call in and talk to her that way, and always write her name on my wristbands that day. And then, you know, completely opposite with Father's Day or something else going that way. So I just make sure I let her know that she's always being thought of on that day.
Always nice to hear the players talk about their mothers, how important they are. So happy Mother's Day to mothers out there. And if they're at the ballpark, we hope they're enjoying it. Certainly the scoreboard is good. 9-0 the A's lead, trying to sweep the Nationals. So Jim Johnson's going to take over. Jim Johnson, well, he probably needs an inning of work. The last time he pitched was game 2 of the doubleheader on Wednesday, so he's had 3 days off. So he'll try to get these final 3 outs. Let the A's get ready for the White Sox. First pitch is outside to Franson.
And the Nationals have seen a lot of Jim Johnson when he pitched for the Orioles.
It's true.
It's 101 saves the last 2 seasons combined. And
geographical rival.
That's right.
Popped up. Punto coming in, and Punto shading his eyes grabs it. So Franson is retired. He's 0 for 4. So 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. He's looking for their 23rd win of the year and their 4th consecutive win.
Now batting, number 6.
Drew Pomeranz, who is scheduled to pitch on Tuesday. Very quick to point out that he started it on Wednesday afternoon, 2nd game, picking up a win in the A's, what was at the time a 6-game home losing streak. They lost 3 straight to the Rangers before going on the last road trip. Lost the first 3 to the Mariners. So nice to see them get back on the winning track, especially here at the Coliseum. Pomeranz sitting amongst the starters at a DH.
Rendon takes a strike on the inside corner. Good breaking ball there by Johnson. What a sharp break. No runs allowed in 35 of the last 36 innings pitched. How about that? Not surprised.
Not surprised at all.
They're not surprised. Winning streaks usually start with a bunch of good pitching performance.
Right. Better defense, good pitching.
2-2 to Rendon with Nate McLouth waiting in the on-deck circle.
Nice to get some big home runs from that young man.
Trying for their 4th series sweep of the year. If they get it, that would be the most in the majors. Rendon shoots one past Barton down the right field line. Past Moss, excuse me, so he's got a base hit. So Rendon gets his first hit today.
Kind of a late swing, and that's always tough, I think, for a first baseman with a right-handed hitter to have a right-handed hitter to shoot a ball past him. But the late swing enabled him to do that. We were talking about the Dallas Braden perfect game 4 years ago. It was on Mother's Day, which means the pink bats. Remember Dominic, the MLB authenticator. I think he spent about an extra 3 hours at the park that day, authenticating everything. Of course, not only the pink bats and everything, but it being a perfect game. Guys won a lot of things authenticated, and that's what's happening. Eric Farrell down by every ball that is fouled, it hits the dirt, it goes back. Eric Farrell's down in the tunnel, the walkway down there, get the ball, put the logo, something on it to authenticate it.
Did your scorecard get authenticated?
Yes, it did. Yep, I sure got it done. Dominic didn't know what to do, but he said, I just guess I'll put it in as a scoreboard.
Stamp it.
Yep.
Inside to McLouth, 1-2.
You don't see either broadcast or watch or perfect games. They just are very rare.
That's why we both thank Dallas Brady for helping us out. As Johnson strikes out McLeod for the second out. So this nice crowd on Mother's Day and Breast Cancer Awareness Day, over 28,000. They
Now
will
batting, number 4.
soon rise to their feet as the A's try to wrap up this 3-game series sweep. So this is Zach Walters, his first at bat. Pitch is down and in, and it rolls to the backstop. So Rendon will trot down to second.
Well, at least it does not go to second on indifference. Gets there with a ball that's scored a wild pitch.
Walters takes inside, now 2-0. Walters took over for Desmond at shortstop. We'll talk about Norris, but what about Nick Punto?
Right.
3 RBIs.
Absolutely. And between Norris driving in 6 and Punto 3,
that'll do it.
It's the scoring for the day.
Swing and a miss. It's good to see that for Nick Punto. He struggled some offensively in the early going, so obviously not playing every day, but
he always has the energy when he does play. And Eric Sogard kind of platooning at second, but Punto shows the energy that you like to see with the veteran.
Now 2-2 as Walters chased a pitch down.
A turbo sinker, hard sinker thrown by Jim Johnson, and while this is getting some work in for him, he is using the pitches that enabled him to save so many games the last 2 years. Something the A's are looking forward to when he does have the opportunity to close out a game.
Two. Johnson kicks and deals, and there's a line drive toward Gentry in center. It's going to drop in front of him in left center, and the shutout's gone. So Walters just kind of served it out there, and it allowed Rendon to score. So it's 9-1.
Well, it was served and a little bit higher than what he had just swung. You see where it hit off the end of the bat. That meant no chance for Gentry to get to it. If it's hit the sweet part of the bat, Gentry's speed almost got into the ball, but off the end of the bat, it just did not happen.
So Hairston steps in.
And that's a case where you tip your hat to the hitter, because Jim Johnson made a good pitch.
That one spins out of the hand of Johnson, so the count 1-0 to Hairston, who is 1 for 3. Single, strikeout, and he hit into a double play. A's postgame live coming up. We will chat with a guest here at the ballpark. Nobody standing by in the studio. We'll let you guess who we'd like to hear. Strike called on the swing, so the count 1-2. So the crowd up again. And the pitch to Hairston is hit high and foul and into the seats. So Moss late game sprints. He doesn't.
Just have to have 3 hits off of lefties today.
It's a good call.
Absolutely. It's a good day for him. That'll open a lot of guys' eyes.
One, 2 is outside. White Sox tomorrow. We'll have game 1 for you. Our coverage here on Comcast Sportsnet California starts at 6:30. Hairston hits it hard. Nice play by Donaldson. And the A's will end it on a terrific play by Donaldson at third. The Nationals get a run, but nothing else in the ninth. So the A's finish it off today with a 9-1 win. They outscore the Washington Nationals this weekend 21-4. And they finish off the 3-game sweep. So a terrific weekend of baseball for the A's. Final score today, A's 9, Nationals 1. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Mindy Bach and Connie Lansford starts right now.